US, CNH. If that doesn't tell you how international we are, I really don't know what to tell you. But as you can see right here, that is Eastern Canada, pretty wide. I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell you exactly from top to bottom how large we really are, but that marker you see, I'm not sure if you can see my cursor right here, but that is approximately where Ottawa is. Now I'm going to switch over to the CAD.
So yes, guys, you can see in this circle right here, that's exactly where CAD is. Every country in purple already, there's parts of my district, and I'm on that small island of Barbados. Also, you can see there pictured the other international districts, Jamaica district, and also the Bahamas. Funny enough, they're actually above the Cabinet Atlantic district and way closer to the US, but this map just has them printed incorrectly. You know, we just saw 11 different countries make up my district, and different provinces make up Mansi's. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what makes Cabinet Atlantic district unique, what makes ECB district unique, and what sets us apart.
It's good to mention also is that we're talking about our districts personally because that's what we know best. But what the message we're trying to deliver to you is that there are so many districts that have their own unique aspects, and these are just two of them, but we hope you get the idea.
Yeah. So I'll start speaking about CAD first. You know, as I just said, we're 11 countries, but we have 7 divisions with LTGs who sometimes have a country in their division that they don't exactly live on. So here's a few facts about us. Collectively, we're not even as big as one state in the US. Our board meetings are always partially online because it's really hard to fly persons out, join school, get that parental consent, alongside with the financial part of that process. You know, we only have UNICEF as our Key Club International Service partner in the region. So there's no March-a-Dimes, there's no Children's Miracle Network, there's no landscape structures, there's no squads abroad, only UNICEF. So we partner with similar organizations that have similar goals, like local children's homes, local hospitals, the Red Cross, and even the Salvation Army. I've been to the US, as I love to travel, and I've also been to Ontario. I absolutely love to ride in Ajax and Pickering. And one thing is for sure, the US and Canada are huge. But fun fact, if you've been driving for about 2 hours, you can probably do laps around my country. That's how small we are.
I wish I could say the same. If you drive for 2 hours, you're not even going to get to another city, maybe Kingston, but even that can range about 2 hours 15. But with 5 provinces, we have 5 divisions. And fun fact, unlike most districts, we call our lieutenant governors LGs rather than LTGs. It's something I get picked on by I-Council board members all the time. But hey, it's what makes us us. More facts. We've had district convention at least once in all 5 provinces. I've actually been to 3 out of the 5 provinces we have clubs in, but that's on my bucket list. Like Josh, I love to travel. So as you saw in the earlier image, geographically, we're huge with over 2,400 kilometers, or for people who prefer miles, that's just over 1,500 miles from top to bottom. Despite that, we're actually on the smaller scale of district sizes with just over 1,000 Key Club members and 36 clubs. We're tight-knit family, but we're growing steadily. Being international, we also have our own partners, aside from the key players that Josh just mentioned and that you often see on Key Club International's social media and website. So a few of our past and current partners include the Canadian Mental Health Association, Doctors Without Borders, and Canadian Food for Children. And to end off with a few answers to questions that people have asked me a concerning amount of times. No, our money does not smell like maple syrup. And yes, we get our milk in plastic bags. I direct all emotions of shock and confusion to the chat. Please and thank you. So while you tell me how shocked you are that we get milk in bags and our money that does not smell like maple syrup, I'm going to tell you a bit about me and my experiences throughout Key Club. I'll try to keep it short and I'll try to keep it interesting. So in 2017 to 2018, which is grade 9 or freshman year, I joined Key Club for a free ice cream sandwich. Now, bear with me, my intentions get better. I went to decon for the first time that year after my friends forced me to go to these meetings to a club that I didn't really know what it was about. That was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, so in the East Coast. That was my first time actually getting outside of Ontario, my province. And if you ask me to describe the experience in words, I can. It was magical. Like there's no other way I can think to describe it. It was everything I had dreamed of and more, but at the same time, it surpassed every expectation I had in my mind. That same year, I went to my first ever Kiwanis luncheon, and I was given an honorary rose for being an outstanding club member. It was a very wholesome moment, and it definitely inspired to continue my Key Club journey. So the following year, I was elected as co-president of my school club, Sir Robert Borden. And I had the pleasure of working alongside some incredible people and was able to raise just over 4,000 Canadian dollars throughout my term as co-president, which was the largest amount of money that I've ever fundraised in a year. That year, I went to Decon for the second time in Niagara, and I had the opportunity to give the rose as a co-president, the one that I received the previous year. The preceding year, I'm very grateful to have been elected as the Lieutenant Governor, LG, of Divisions 8, 9, 10. I helped 13 clubs give their own ice cream sandwich moment to their members. That moment where you get hooked in and then Key Club makes you stay there because it's so addicting. I went to Icon for the first time in Baltimore last year and organized the event later on where Key Clubbers give their roses. It was like a very full circle moment. So I've stayed in Key Club. I was elected as district governor in April, and I've stayed. I don't even know how to describe it. It's the fellowship, it's the memories, it's the moments that you never expect to happen, but they do, and it's awesome. So just like that, that's my Key Club journey summarized in 2 minutes, but my journey is continuing, and it will continue even past after I graduate. It's something that, as you saw earlier today, it'll stick with you forever. Josh?
You know, what makes this so amazing is the fact that Mansi and I have two completely different journeys, but at the end of the day, we have the same destination, district governor, and it's just an amazing experience. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. We have a totally different educational system down here. So what you call grade 9 is what I'll call fourth form. But I joined Key Club in fourth form, grade 9. Coming from the Builders Club, I was always in the Kiwanis family, so it was just natural for me to join Key Club. You know, at my school, Key Club is like a clan. You know, we're like the cool kid squad. So it was like, yes, I'm joining Key Club. In that first year, joining Key Club from Builders Club, you know, I helped so many children get gifts for Christmas doing the governor's project of my district that year, and I absolutely loved it. The year after, I became a club chair and a district member rep. I spearheaded all my club's service activities, and it really helped me to see the importance of actually serving my community and being able to connect with others. I attended my division social for the first time, and at that point, I met so many people from Key Club I didn't even know were in Key Club. And Olivia, I just saw her comment, yes, Builders Club crew, unite. You know, and then it was in that year that I decided that I wanted to be on district leadership team. So in grade 11, our lower sixth form, you know, I decided, yes, I'm going to become a service chair. And just like the year before, although it was just on club level, I shifted my service at district level and helped my district improve service. And we actually did about 10,000 service hours. You know, I attended my first district board and it was absolutely amazing. I realized, you know, although we are so stressed from Key Club, we have tons of homework and procrastination that we have just there. We could bond over rants, over fun, over jokes, and most importantly, over food. You know, so this year, when it came April, you know, my past district governor told me, you need to run, and I decided I would. And now I am the governor of the Cabinet Atlantic District in my last year of high school, as you may call it, or secondary school for me. I serve on the National Bylaw Task Force, and you know, as Mansi said, I came because I was in Key Club, but I stayed for those amazing memories, those service opportunities, and that ton of friends. And you know, my journey continues.
Exactly.
So, a lot of us ask, what do we do as district governors? Yes, you see district governors all the time. You probably know who yours is. But what do district governors do? We all have the same job, regardless of if we're in Carolinas, regardless if we're in Caribbean or Mansi in Eastern Canada. As governors, we have the same basic responsibilities. We provide leadership, motivation, and guidance to key clubs and our district as basically our main purpose. We liaise between the Key Club International Board and our districts to serve as our district's spokesperson. We represent all our members, regardless of wherever they are in the district, and we try to pursue more opportunities for both our members and ourselves.
We also strengthen our existing key clubs, organize new clubs, and promote membership growth. These goals may seem far-fetched at first, but they're the ones that are broken down categorically by each governor according to their district's strengths and weaknesses, which we analyze and we act appropriately to. Now, as Josh said, these are our fundamental responsibilities, but each district functions differently and our duties change accordingly. As you can see in the top right corner, you see the calm, composed side of us more often than you'll see the wild working at 3 a.m. and ranting and having crying sessions with our district board members. But as much as it sounds weird, it's those moments that brings us closer together, and we'll talk about that more in just a bit.
So we're going to talk about our favorite key club memories. And while we're doing this, you can take the opportunity to send us your favorite memory, your key club moment, and let us know what makes key club so great for you. But this was probably the hardest slide of our presentation. I've had so many amazing memories in key club that choosing the top ones were just super hard. But of all those amazing memories, I think these ones stood out the most. Key club interclubs. I love going to my friends' clubs across the district, having fun, seeing how they conduct their meetings, participating in their meetings, meeting new people. Outside of that, coming together also with other key clubs in my division for socials, for rallies. I've been able to see the diversity among us and how so much people are so very different and actually appreciate them for who they truly are. But what really is my highlight of my key club journey are the district board meetings and just the committee meetings. The rants that we get in from all that's going on. The walks for food during meetings are top tier. And just being able to sit down around a table, brainstorm, all our brains come together to really work for the advancement of our district is really amazing. I've never really understood what it meant to come into Key Club, meet people for the first time, and have that bond right away until I became district governor. And I was able to meet so many persons, just working with them for the advancement of our district. And that happened with my service officers. We bonded right away and we just became friends. Our beach days after our bonding have been amazing. We're just able to kick back and relax after a hard school week, a hard Key Club week, all that we have had to do, and just enjoy some fun times. But one highlight of my Key Club journey is persons asking us all the time, do y'all make keys? It just is a great opportunity to segue from that question into telling them about the amazing Key Club, the amazing opportunity Key Club is, the amazingness of all the members, and how much they can benefit from joining Key Club. But my home club also plays a special role in my Key Club life. My home club is about 130 members, and being able to just be around all of them and just share that has really propelled me forward in my Key Club journey to say, yes, I want to be a district officer. Yes, I want to be, the district governor. So all of our events at my home club have really, really been amazing. But one thing that I must say before I end off with all my favorite Key Club memories is my accent. Coming from an international district, I speak so differently to even others in my district. I will always ask about how my accent, is. Why do I say certain words? And just being able to show them, we're so diverse, yet we're still the same. is so amazing. Mansi, tell us about your favorite Key Club memories.
It'd be my pleasure. The first thing I'd like to start off with is our international president, Alex Greyhouse, in the top right corner, on an ice skating rink with the CN Tower behind him. He was our trustee last year, if you didn't already know. This is one of my favorite pictures I have of Alex, because it is so Canadian. He's skating, there's a CN Tower behind him, and it was one of my favorite memories, which was winterboard. I think it's the second point. But before that, I'm going to take you on a very, very short and summarized journey. I mentioned earlier that I went to Icon for the first time last year in Baltimore. And I was rooming with 2 people from the Indiana district. And there were 3 people representing the ECD. We got close with the Kansas district. They were about 2 rooms down from us, so they were pretty close by. And we started to hang out. We had lunch together. We traveled and toured together. And we got to know each other better. Whenever we could in workshops, we'd sit together. But there was this one person in particular. Her name is Rachel. We talked occasionally. Nothing too special, nothing too much. But the Kansas district was leaving a night early. They had a 14-hour drive back to Kansas. And they were leaving just through closing session. So after closing session, I went back to my room, which is where they were storing their luggage. And I saw this thing on my end of the bed. It was a sunflower. Now, the Kansas district has it, members of the Kansas district wear it at Icon, wherever they go, whatever they're wearing, it kind of distinguishes them from other members. And I saw it on my bed and it had a note. I'm going to read it out. Mansi, this is for you. Love, Rachel. P.S. I'm going to keep sending you memes. This sunflower is one of the closest things I have to not only her, but to Key Club. It's on my board. You can't see it. You might see it in a picture later, but I have a board with all of my Key Club memories on it, and this one is right in the middle. I wake up and I see it, and I see it because it inspires me to keep going forward, but it reminds me of all of the wonderful memories I made with Key Club. So this is one of my, definitely my favorite memories. But as you can see right here, right, we mentioned it earlier, having the movie nights, game nights, rant sessions. The questions that people ask us Canadians, right? At Icon, people asked if we lived in igloos. We do not. People told us that our prime minister was hot. Thank you. I'm not sure how to respond to that, but that's good to know. There are all sorts of questions, but talking about that, like Josh said, it gives us an excuse to get to know each other. I've been pied in the face, as you can see in the bottom right corner, all for charity, but let me tell you, if you ever get pied in the face, cover your hair. The stuff gets in there. And the last point that I'm going to end off on really quickly is dancing at the Halifax airport. First decon, there was a workshop for swing dancing. I love swing dancing. I am very not synchronized. I can't dance to save my life, but swing dancing is the one thing I'm willing to embarrass myself for. And we were sitting in the airport. We had a 2-hour layover, and I asked my friend that I just met just a few hours ago, I was like, do you want to learn how to swing dance? And she was like, here? Now? I was like, yep. We have space, you know, the airport isn't that busy. And we got up and we started to dance. A few minutes later, a few of our friends who were also in the workshop, they got up, they started to teach people. At one point, there was this lady who came over and she was like, this seems really fun. Can I join? And we were like, yeah, sure. Let's start. So there was just a group of us dancing in the middle of the airport. People were walking by. Some were staring, some were laughing, some were taking pictures. But it was just a blast. And it was those little moments that make the Key Club journey so sweet. But with that being said, and I told you earlier, you see the calm and composed side of Josh. This is us working and making sure that this presentation is the way that it is. Far too late last night. It's one of the things that it's not because we managed our time poorly, not at all. Maybe a bit, but we also understand that we have responsibilities outside of our position as governor. We have school, family, and other extracurricular commitments. We have university applications and scholarship applications weighing on our mind, but being able to represent and serve our community as Key Clubbers it's an honor. Despite the frustration or stress or exhaustion that comes along certain parts of it, dare I say that's one of the best parts of it, doing it and ranting with other like-minded individuals. When Josh asked you to put your favorite Key Club memories in the chat, there was one that stuck out to me in particular. crying at 2 a.m. with other board members. You wouldn't think that's a special memory, but it is. And it's hard to explain unless you experience it yourself. I know that if I ever need to rant at 2 a.m. in the morning, I can call any of my Key Club friends, and they won't only listen to me, but they'd rant with me. But they are always by my side in friendship and in service.
Yeah, Mansi is totally right. Key Club truly is my safe space, and over the years, I've learned to appreciate every single moment in Key Club, whether it's me ranting with those around, as Mansi said, or me sharing laughter with them. It truly has been an amazing journey to see that in our diversities, lie us coming together and being one big service organization. And honestly, I love it. So, you know what? Mansi and I have spoken off your heads. We've told you all about us. Now is the time that you can ask us some questions and anything you want to know so that we can answer to the best of our ability and see if we can provide more clarity on anything you would want to ask.
Absolutely. Please ask away. I am taking a look at the chat. Please keep them coming. Ask us about anything, Key Club related or not. We'd love to answer them. If you'd like an answer from a particular person, Josh or I, mention that as well. That'd be great. Okay, Josh, what's the biggest challenge you've faced in Key Club?
Oh, well, that's a hard question. I think one of the biggest challenges I faced is not believing in myself, being governor, being chair of a committee. So many times I had to do an interview or I had to speak, and I didn't know about y'all, but sometimes it's nerve-wracking to know, yes, I'm going to speak today in front of all of these people, and then they're going to question me, and I don't know how this is going to go, but I really want this position, and I don't want to look stupid, and it's just so many things that makes you so nervous. So I think one of the hardest things that I've had to overcome in terms of Key Club was being able to see, all of these people, despite the fact that this is a voting and this sort of an election, that they're rooting for me, and being able to accept that, despite that, I should still put my best foot forward. Mansi, how about you?
I'd agree with that, yeah. One thing that personally I've struggled with is feeling confidence in myself and the decisions I make. It's a bit weird being in a position of leadership where other people you're working with are exactly your age or even older, because you might have experience that they don't have, and delivering it to them in a way that you're supportive and you're encouraging. It can be tough because you feel like you don't have the authority to do so. It's a skill that I learned over the years, and I'm very thankful I have it because it's taught me something that I'm likely going to use in the future, but it's taken me a while to get over, almost like imposter syndrome. If you're not familiar with that, you're in a place and you feel like you don't belong there, but you do, and it's getting over that, and realizing that you're here for a reason and to really embrace that. But thank you for that question. We're getting a lot, so I'm gonna try and hit the ones that people are asking multiple times. But okay, what's your advice to someone who's aspiring to become a district governor, Josh?
My advice is to get involved. Reach out to your district officers. I know some persons think, we're supernatural. We're not. We're just like you. We want to have fun like you, and we will for sure help you with any questions. Reach out to us. Ask your district governor. How's the job? Like, what does it take? Get that mentorship and allow your district governor to help you, your other district officers to help you, because one thing is for certain, every single district and its leadership is different. And that means that, what is Mansi's experience may not exactly be mine. So reach out to your district governors and, ask them. And beyond that, be involved, A district governor is someone that's supposed to bring everyone together. So if you're not involved, it really takes back a little bit from being district governor. But get involved, go to your service projects, be open to speaking to others, and be open to those around you. And that's really just my 2 tips.
I'm a strong believer that you don't need to have all of the public speaking skills and the communication skills before going into your position as governor. These are things you can develop, you can work on, you can improve. What you need is the initiative to start improving before you apply or before you do something that you know is going to require that of you. Being proactive is another great skill to have if you're applying for governor, or even as just a key clubber in a position of leadership. Thinking ahead and making sure that you're prepared for all possible outcomes will serve you well wherever you go. All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have this question. I love it. I guess it's from a lieutenant governor, and she's asking us, what tips can you give in getting members to pay dues this year? So it's an amazing question. I don't know if Mansi wants to start first.
Yeah, all right. So a lot of people, right off the bat, when you say, what's in it for me, right? Well, yeah, you have rallies like this. The thing is that along with your dues come a whole load of opportunities. The whole point of paying dues is almost like a commitment. Like, I'm going to take advantage of these opportunities. If you don't, then obviously it feels like the amount of dues that you pay isn't worth it. But the whole thing is taking that initiative. That's something we build as key clubbers. So if you're not taking advantage of all of these wonderful opportunities that are put together just for you, you're not going to think that, oh, you know what, that was for us, a $20 well spent. So telling people, I tell this sunflower story to every new key clubber I meet, because it's so important for them, for me to tell them and to help them understand that Key Club is more than just, helping a park cleanup. It is making long-lasting friends and having that told to the person with just pure passion, nothing scripted, let it all come from the heart. That is the best way you're going to help a key clubber understand why dues are so important.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I just want to hop in to say, one thing you must do is realize that now more than ever, our communities need us. So show key clubbers, show prospective members exactly why our communities need us. Show us the spaces in our communities that we can serve, that we can build, how we need to love our communities. Show them their purpose in this organization, and beyond that, show them the family, the amazing family that they're joining. And as Mansi said, if you do all these things, I'm pretty sure you'll be well on your way to getting your members paying their dues.
Absolutely. We have a recurring question here. Josh, do you know what you want to do after you graduate in your future as a career?
Okay, so great, this is an amazing question. I really want to become a doctor. I don't know why, where exactly I want to go into, what exactly I want to go into. So if it may be pediatrics, if it may be the emergency room, but I know for sure is that I'm a science fanatic and I want to become a doctor. What about you, Mansi?
I'm not sure if you've realized, but I love talking. I love talking to people. I like to listen to their stories and get to know them. So definitely going down the business route, advertising, marketing, communications, really, something I love doing. And Key Club has given me a plethora of experience with. So I'm very excited to pursue that in the future.
Great. So we have this question. Being district governor seems so amazing, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to lead. How do you handle this responsibility so well and find a way to effectively communicate with all the clubs in your district? Now, that question was kind of long. I hope you got it. And Mansi's going to tackle that question.
Do you want to say the second part of the first sentence again?
Okay, so how do you handle this responsibility so well and communicate with your clubs effectively?
As governor? Governor has a lot of time management in it. If you learn how to manage your time and make plans well in advance of what you want to do, and then add that into your time management, it becomes much easier. Trust me, when I first came into the position of governor, I knew 50% of what I'd actually end up doing. And that wasn't because no one told me. It was because these tasks are so small that you don't tell someone oh, I'm a governor, I do this, right? It just comes along with the job. So figuring out what those are, breaking them down, making a plan for each individual task, and putting them in a place where you can see it. If you are a physical calendar type person, put it in your calendar. I am an online calendar person, Google Calendar for the win. I put reminders. at least every day I have a reminder saying, do this for Key Club. It might be a small 10-minute task. It might be work on this for an hour, but sticking to that routine helps me accomplish the goals that I would. And it's intimidating, but it will take you a month to get your groove. It'll take you 2 months to find your leadership style that suits you and your board best. It might take 3 months for you to understand how your district works, but that's okay. Just know that it'll all come together. Just be passionate about it. Josh?
And I totally agree with you, Mansi, in terms of scheduling. That's so very important. But one thing I found way more important is taking breaks and taking care of yourself. I think is when you think about responsibility, persons don't really think about self-care, but they go hand in hand. If you're not taking care of yourself, then you can't take care of your responsibilities. So one thing I always have my board and I do is taking care of ourselves. I remind them to take time to relax. And even recently for Mental Health Month, we had a little check-in where we spoke about 3 things that we completed and we were successful in doing throughout the day. And I think that's really something that's very important. I think hopping here to answer Melanie's question about what do I do when I'm stressed. I listen to music. I go on long car rides. You know, I try to go into nature. I find that nature is so calming. And music specifically, I like different genres of music. You may like pop, you may like rap, you may like hip hop. You know what helps you. But personally, I like music. I love my region's music. And I love being in nature, being outside, spending time with my friends, you know, on a hillside probably, or just driving around, grabbing ice cream, something like that. So that's exactly what I do when I'm stressed.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Self-care is very, very important. And if you don't, you will burn out. And trust me, out of experience, it is not something you want to go through. It is exhausting. So no, Josh brought up some very, very good points. Okay, this one stood out to me. Josh, did you have any public speaking anxiety before joining Key Club? And how has Key Club transformed your personality, if at all?
You know, from a young age, as y'all maybe can tell, I've always been talking. My parents probably wish that I just shut up sometimes. But you know, speaking in front of Key Clubs, in front of persons, is very different from speaking with friends. So how has Key Club helped with that? I think what Key Club has helped me to do is to know that I need to relate with persons more. You know, before I would just talk and speak, and I wouldn't really care if my audience is probably listening. But Key Club now has given me that perspective to, you know, look at a person's faces, see if I'm getting to them, try to connect with people more and to understand them personally. So even right now, during this call, I'm like swiping through sometimes to see persons' faces, see your reactions, and see, I've seen quite a few people texting and so on, but that's just me now. I think that's Key Club. Key Club is about, you know, Key Club has helped me to see that I need to interact more with persons in a crowd. Rather than just speaking to them, I need to cater to them and think about them also in my public speaking enterprises. Mansi, how about you?
So, public speaking anxiety, we have a long relationship. I will not get into the details of it, but I can tell you, yes, I had it. It's actually a funny story. I didn't have it until I was like maybe 12. And then I started and I was like, wow, okay, I kind of care about what people think when I'm speaking. And then it just bubbled into something else. And yes, Key Club had put me in that position where I wasn't forced to learn, but I put myself in a position where I had to learn how to speak in front of people and not sweat buckets and almost cry and did not have a panic attack. It's tough, right? But you have to find what works for you. I do 2 things whenever I speak. 1, before wherever I'm speaking, I go into the washroom and I look myself in the mirror in the eye and I give myself a pep talk. You're gonna do great. You got this. Take a few deep breaths. You'll be fine. Second thing I do is I always try to incorporate at least one story in my talk. Whenever I speak, putting stories into what I'm saying, my mind goes on autopilot. I start talking from the heart. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying because I know whatever I'm saying is true. So because I'm on autopilot, I get to think about the rest of my presentation. I get to calm myself down because I'm talking about something that's familiar to me. Everything seems better. My heart goes back to a normal rate and I can follow through with my presentation. So if I can give you a tip, put yourself in that position, but make sure you have an out. We don't want to make you uncomfortable, but find what works for you and then follow through with it.
Great. So, you know, guys, we're soon wrapping up. So I think these are going to be like our last few questions.
Yeah.
But, you know, one question I think I love this question because it really talks about our future. Is how do we plan on being active in terms of Key Club in college? And I think we can extend that question to be what are your plans for the rest of your year and after in terms of the Kiwanis family. So Mansi?
Yeah, I'll keep it relatively short. Circle K in the ECD is growing like Key Club is, but it's a bit smaller than Key Club at the moment. So the university, at least my top 3, Circle K is only in one of them. So if that's the university that I end up going to, I will definitely join, continue my Key Club journey. If it's not, depending on how things are going, what program I'm in, and the workload, I may look at chartering my own Circle K, if that's the way things end up. But I know that regardless, I'm keeping in touch with my Key Club friends. Those are friendships I'm never going to lose. And I'm going to continue my service journey, whether that's through Circle K or just helping the community with another organization or by myself. That's something that's going to be ingrained in me for the rest of my life. So I think it depends, but one way or the other, service and giving back to the community will always be there. Josh?
Nancy, I totally agree. I think Key Club has literally taught me the importance of service, and whatever I do going on from high school or secondary school, it will be service, and I will be making sure to give back to my community. I really truly plan on continuing in the Kiwanis family. I've come from Builders Club, gone into Key Club, and I want to go into Circle K. I don't know, as Mansi said, if my university will have Circle K, but if it doesn't, I'm going to look at chartering. I promised myself every time that you went up in a step, in a different step of the Kiwanis family, look and see if you can step up. In Builders Club, I was class director. Now in Key Club, I'm district governor. So Circle K made me international trustee. You never know what's on the horizon. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about continuing my journey for sure. And I'm going to look to make sure that that's part of my university journey. The amazing memories and amazing friendships I have made at Key Club level will stay with me for a lifetime. And I know that I can also make those memories and friendships at Circle K level. I'm looking forward to that. So that's definitely what I plan to.
And looking at time, I don't think we'll be able to answer any more questions, but thank you to everyone who sent some in. I'm not sure if you caught it earlier, but Josh and I's contact information was up on the slide. If you didn't, my Instagram is my name with an extra I at the end. Please feel free to contact me or Josh. We love speaking to people and we'd love to get to know you. And if we didn't answer your question, reach out to us and we will be more than happy to answer it. But with that being said, thank you for attending. We hope you enjoyed. And now pass it over to Alex.
Awesome. Thank you, Mansi and Josh, for your presentation, all the work you put in. I know you guys are super busy. And thanks for all of you for tuning in. But we're not done yet. There's still another round of sessions, engaging service and diversity inclusion. Same process, go to your email. The links will be in there. But thank you all for being here. And again, thanks to Mansi and Joshua. See you on the next sessions.
Take care, everyone.